The Rock is undoubtedly one of the biggest superstars WWE has ever produced. His return to the world of professional wrestling, turning heel, and being part of the TKO board makes it more interesting to see what the future holds for him. Former WWE superstar Jonathan Coachman has shared his views on how the final boss could use his power to kick out Triple H. Former WWE superstar Jonathan Coachman has worked in WWE for a long period and was friends with The Rock, Triple H, and other influential people in the company, giving him an understanding of how things work in the Stamford-based promotion. While speaking on the latest episode of the Coach and Bro Wrestling Show on Backstage Pass, Jonathan Coachman opened up on The Rock's final boss gimmick and expressed he could even boot out Triple H from WWE. The Rock made his shocking comeback to WWE in the ending moments of the Bad Blood 2024 Premium Live event. The Great One has problems with multiple stars on the roster, including Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, but it looks like Triple H's name could be on the final bosses list to eliminate. During the WrestleMania XL press conference, we saw the tension between Hunter and Dwayne escalating as he was trying to override his orders. This tension could eventually lead to a storyline between these two legends. The WWE Universe has always been a place where larger-than-life personalities collide, both in and out of the ring. Two of the most iconic figures in this world are none other than The Rock and Triple H. Their careers have intertwined for decades, creating unforgettable moments of rivalry and collaboration. But recent speculation, fueled by comments from a former WWE star, has raised an intriguing question. Could The Rock actually kick Triple H out of WWE by the end of 2025? This hypothetical scenario has sent shockwaves through the wrestling community, sparking debates among fans and insiders alike. The idea of two of the biggest names in WWE history entering a power struggle off-screen is a tantalizing prospect. Let's explore the possibility of this dramatic showdown and examine whether it could ever become a reality. To understand how such a scenario could unfold, it's important to first take a look at the history between The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Triple H, Paul Levesque. Their paths have been intertwined since the late 1990s, when both were rising stars during WWE's Attitude Era. Their intense rivalry, which saw them face off in numerous iconic matches, helped define that period in wrestling. From brutal ladder matches to main events at WrestleMania, their battles both in the ring and on the microphone captivated audiences around the world. However, their relationship hasn't been defined solely by competition. As they matured in their careers, both men transitioned into new roles within WWE, with The Rock becoming a global Hollywood superstar and Triple H moving into an executive role within the company. While The Rock returned to WWE sporadically for high-profile matches and appearances, Triple H became the mastermind behind WWE's developmental brand, NXT, and eventually took on broader responsibilities within the company's corporate structure. Despite these different career trajectories, there has always been a sense of mutual respect between The Rock and Triple H. Both men have praised each other in interviews, acknowledging the role they played in each other's success. But as is often the case in WWE, where personal rivalries sometimes blur the lines with professional ambition, things could take a sudden turn. The wrestling industry has seen massive shifts over the past few years, especially with WWE's corporate landscape undergoing significant changes. Following Vince McMahon's brief retirement in 2022 and the subsequent sale of WWE to Endeavor, the company has entered a new era of leadership. Triple H took the reins of WWE's creative direction, and his influence has been largely praised by fans and wrestlers alike. His vision for a more wrestling-focused product, along with the revival of NXT, has reinvigorated WWE's programming. Meanwhile, The Rock, who has always maintained ties to WWE, has focused on his Hollywood career and other business ventures. Yet, he has repeatedly teased the possibility of a return to WWE, either for one last match or in a larger capacity. With The Rock's immense global popularity and business acumen, it's not hard to imagine him stepping into a more formal role within WWE. This brings us to the speculative idea of a power struggle between The Rock and Triple H. A former WWE star recently hinted at the possibility, suggesting that The Rock, with his vast connections in the entertainment and business world, could potentially position himself to challenge Triple H's authority within the company. Could The Rock leverage his influence and connections to oust Triple H before the end of 2025? While the idea of The Rock kicking out Triple H is sensational and intriguing, the practical realities of such a move are more complex. For starters, Triple H is deeply embedded in the fabric of WWE. His marriage to Stephanie McMahon, the daughter of Vince McMahon, and his long history as an executive make him a central figure in WWE's operations. His leadership has been instrumental in shaping the direction of WWE's talent development, particularly through NXT, which has produced many of WWE's top stars in recent years. Additionally, Triple H has earned significant goodwill among WWE's talent and fans, largely due to his efforts to improve the working environment for wrestlers and his focus on creating compelling storylines that emphasize in-ring action over gimmicks. This level of respect and influence is not something that can easily be brushed aside. However, The Rock is no ordinary challenger. His global fame, combined with his close ties to WWE's fanbase, makes him one of the few people who could legitimately challenge Triple H's position. If The Rock were to express serious interest in taking on a larger role within WWE's leadership, it would be impossible for the company's executives to ignore. His ability to attract mainstream attention and generate significant revenue for WWE through his Hollywood connections and massive social media following gives him a unique kind of leverage. While the idea of The Rock outright kicking out Triple H might be a stretch, a power struggle between the two could take the form of creative differences, business strategy disagreements, or competing visions for WWE's future. This could lead to tensions behind the scenes, with The Rock potentially pushing for changes that clash with Triple H's more traditional approach to wrestling. If The Rock were to step into a larger role in WWE, what might that look like? One possibility is that he could take on an advisory or executive position within the company, focusing on expanding WWE's brand beyond the wrestling world. With his experience in Hollywood and his ventures in production, such as his work on the XFL, The Rock could bring a fresh perspective to WWE's business strategies. This could lead to a clash of ideas between The Rock and Triple H, particularly if The Rock were to advocate for a more entertainment-focused product, in contrast to Triple H's emphasis on in-ring storytelling. If tensions were to escalate, it's not impossible to imagine a scenario where one man's vision ultimately prevails over the others. Another possibility is that The Rock could use his influence to bring in outside investors or partners who align with his vision for WWE, further challenging Triple H's authority. The corporate nature of WWE, especially in the post-Endeavor acquisition era, means that business decisions are no longer solely in the hands of the McMahon family. This opens the door for external forces to shape WWE's future, and The Rock could play a pivotal role in that process. It's also worth considering the possibility that this entire narrative could be turned into an on-screen storyline. WWE has a history of blending reality with fiction, and a power struggle between The Rock and Triple H could be a perfect setup for a blockbuster feud, potentially leading to a massive match at WrestleMania or another major event. The drama of two real-life icons battling for control of WWE, with the added layers of their personal history, could be one of the most compelling storylines WWE has ever produced.